Good morning. Can't hear you. Thank you, that's better. I want to thank Dr. Druck for coming up here and sharing his expertise as well as his experience. And hopefully we can all take something back from that. My name is Cheselske. If you don't know who I am, I've been the MC of the Stair Climb, co-MC, over the last 6 years. And I'm a fire captain with the city of San Diego. I've been a firefighter for over 22 years. I started my service career as a United States soldier in the Army. For many of you who have been coming to this event for the last several years, I'm the fun guy up here yelling, hollering. But I want to share with you guys a story. So as I'm sharing this story, if I take a tactical pause, it's just to collect myself. So here we go. I know what it means when Dr. Druck says we are both broken and whole. I became a firefighter because I always had this desire to protect others. In my service as a firefighter, I've noticed that over the years, we've experienced increased call volume, which has led to more lack of sleep and recovery. Over the time, we've witnessed more human suffering and death, and it takes its toll. Seeing loss of life too many times, and especially children, suffering from no fault of their own, began to stick with me and replay over my mind over and over again. I used to be able to turn this switch on and off between work and home, but over the years, that switch became overloaded. My mind became overloaded and those calls began to replay, even when I thought the switch was off. As firefighters, we sometimes deal with that switch by turning it off and numbing it with alcohol, drugs, or other self-destructive behaviors that we really don't talk about. The word feeling, just not part of our vocabulary. Soon this darkness took over me. I didn't even recognize myself. My wife and family didn't recognize me. I even considered ending it all. Last August, I finally spoke to my wife, shared with her what was happening inside my head. We decided together to seek professional help. I know Dr. Druck is right. The hardest word for us as first responders is help. I reached out to Firefighter Aid. They provided swiftly a counselor to help me work through the things that were going on within my life. Helped me work through post-traumatic stress and other issues. Both my wife and I and the counselor urged me to take some time off of work, so I took my annual leave, which was really helpful to be home, regroup. That was really good, having separation. Soon it was time for me to go back to work, and due to a mandatory callback, my first 3 shifts back at work, 68 hours in, about 3:30 in the morning, I was faced with a call that would ultimately be a breaking point for me. A house fire where we encountered 3 victims, 2 of them were children. As we carried their lifeless bodies out of the burning home, I think I carried my own soul out with them. Over the next few days, I spiraled into some deep depression, anxiety, and sleeplessness. I continued to replay the call in my mind, my heart breaking for the loss of the little ones. On day 3 of the incident, after the incident, a very close friend of mine who I've been in the fire service since day 1 with, called me with concern, and his request wasn't a request, but sounded more like a direct order that I immediately go seek help. And that's what I did. It's been a very long and hard road. Not just for me, but for my family, for my crews at work. And they've stuck by me. It still is. In November of last year, I again reached out to Firefighter Aid for more guidance. Fortunately, that door was wide open. And beyond that, the staff at Firefighter Aid was part of a caring team that really helped save my life. They supported me mentally and financially when my family needed it most. And for that, I will ever be grateful. It is crucial that when we as first responders have finally seen enough, we can get help immediately. Learning to navigate through the legalities of taking time away from traumatic situations is still, and receiving deserved compensation is definitely a work in progress. But I have hope that we can discuss this, open the discussions with people who do care about us as first responders, to help come up with a solution and ways to make it better, easier. Through this process of healing, I continue to learn. I am also taking this opportunity to teach whenever I can. I agree with Dr. Druck that the importance of self-care. My suggestion to those just starting out as a first responder or in the emergency services, or those of you who have been in this business a long time and ignored their self-care, write it down. Write down those feelings, those calls that stick in your mind. Don't edit it when you write it. Let it flow. Put it on paper, get it out of your mind. If that doesn't work, and it still bothers you, share it. Don't drown it with substance or silence. Exercise regularly. If you have a pet, spend time with that pet. It's amazing on just that unconditional love will do for you. Find your happy place. Mine is in the water. Surfing, whatever you need to do, find that happy place, imprint it in your mind, and go there often, whether it's physically or mentally. There's so many people in this audience and not that have helped me. So many that I can't even name them all. But there's one person that has been by my side since we were kids, and that's my wife, Patty. I want to thank you. You've been my lighthouse in my darkest of storms. I love you. I love my family. I want to thank you guys for listening and being patient with me up here. And thank you for your compassion.